a lot of things going on in my head, so I just wanted to make a few educational videos about obesity and not so much talk about my story because it's in maintenance, right? It doesn't have any value anymore because I'm just trying to maintain and trying to be a better me. But how I'm becoming a better me is to educate myself and to pack my toolbox with new research so that I can make the best choices for me and my family moving forward. And I have a new grandson that's 18 months old. So my daughter's 32 years old, and I'm so happy that she doesn't have a problem right now with obesity. Um, she delivered 18 months ago and seemed to get back to her um, pre-pregnancy weight. She really didn't have an obesity issue growing up because I was a concerned parent, and I really watched the sugar that she had in her body. I try to provide her with the best quality food within my means, and I limited her junk food. Now, she soon to tell me later in life that because I didn't buy those snacks and all those highly processed foods, that she went to her friend's house and ate them. So she spilled the beans on me. So she did have a little problem with a little bit overweight issue. I think between third and fifth grade. Um, yeah, she was a 9 pound 6 ounce baby at birth. I didn't have diabetes, so she was always on the upper spectrum for height and weight. Now she's normal. The baby that she had was normal birth. I think he weighed 8 pounds 2 ounces, a little boy. And so I hope she realizes and stay tuned for her family. Her husband is a physical therapist. He's in the healthcare field, and he doesn't have a weight issue, but he does have a weight issue on his parents' side. Just like I have an issue with obesity within my previous years, 6, 7 years of obesity. So, I think everybody has a potential to sometime in their life go overboard and have a tendency to be obese. But the thing about it is just sometimes you have to reel it back in and do what's necessary to find the healthier you and pay attention before the human vessel goes down, tanks down and sinks. And then you try to run to the medical professionals and they put you on the medical merry-go-round of either hospital procedures and medication usage. Now, I did review a podcast over here. This was very interesting. This was a podcast on Vice News, and it's American fast food took over Kuwait and made people obese. I'm gonna put another card here, another interesting in children of obesity that I watched in the public school system, and how one parent was appalled to find out that there was highly processed foods in the lunches. I think former Michelle Obama did make an effort in Washington, D.C. To clean up the food issue and the obesity issue in children. And I think she did make way as best as she could, but I still think there's more room for improvement. Back in the day, me in the 1970s in the school system, we did not have processed foods. We had, as I mentioned in a previous video, we made our cafeteria workers actually cook from scratch. And then I think later in life, I think when I got to high school, it was more processed foods. But way back when I was little, it was always home cooking. They cooked in these big pots and stuff like that in the kitchen. But now I think they resource it out. A lot of kitchens, a lot of school systems just buy from the manufacturer, and they buy processed foods that are linked to like a lot of prepackaged foods and a lot of different types of fast foods and a lot of highly processed palatable foods and drinks. So if you hook this this video in there, and they mentioned about fast food all over the world.
You have Hardee's, KFC, McDonald's, Johnny Rockets, Subway, the list goes on. And that's pretty common today in Kuwait and in many countries throughout the Middle East. Kuwaitis are obsessed with American fast food. What do you like to order?
So there you go. You have it. It's all over the world, fast food, and it's all about money. It's all about how can they make a buck from you, and then eventually, especially if you're child, we all know what happens. Some of us here in the weight loss community were obese as children, did have a weight issue. Um, Fortunately for me, I didn't have a problem with that. But then again, my mom, I had a brother that was handicapped. So my mother was dialed into obesity with him. And my mother cooked from scratch. Very rarely do we have any fast food growing up or processed food. My mother cooked from scratch. So, yeah, if you want to take a look at it, and I'll hook some other interesting videos. I think that as weight loss surgery patients, if you have smaller kids, you went through weight loss surgery, and you went through an educational program, you know how to eat, you know to stay away from fast food. So I don't think we should be giving that type of food to our children. If we're cooking for ourselves healthy meals, we should be giving it to our family and educated them on why we want to eat healthy foods. And if your husband and your partner bulks on it, I think you need to educate him on why your child should be eating healthy, because you don't want to raise them. And if you're a child from obesity issues, I'm certainly that the father of the children doesn't want their child to grow up as an obese adult. So it's just some food for thought to think about if you're on your pre-op diet, some things that you want to think about as far as moving forward and thinking about your future, thinking about your children, thinking about your family, and long-term health consequences that actually is into fast food. Me personally, they are dangerous foods for me. I don't eat fast food, and I always cook my own food. As a matter of fact, I have a food prep going. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to be eating sauerkraut, and I cooked a pork loin in the crock pot, and I will be having a little bit of asparagus and some cabbage with a salad, native salad. I'm doing OMAD, so that's my first meal of the day, and it's just about 4:30, and I'm hungry, so I haven't had anything else but coffee and water today. Mostly green tea. I'm trying to drink more green tea and get away from the coffee. So anyway, this is obvious. Obesity is a global issue. It's not just to the United States. Highly palatable food.
What brought you here to Burger King today?
I was so hungry, so I decided to go first McDonald's, then Burger King.
McDonald's, any of those fast foods, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't care if you peel off the fat. I don't care if you peel bread off the breading. These foods, as we know, that is in fast food, do not have quality foods. They're cheap foods. A lot of times it's all chemicals. So why would you be eating chemicals? It's not real food. And if you look a lot of documentaries about the fast food and how it's made, why would you want to eat chemicals? I don't. I haven't. I stopped eating fast food in 2012, January of 2012, when I went on my detox diet to get ready for health food, to get ready for weight loss surgery. And I'll never go back there because I educated myself in education about the fast food industry. That's just slop. That's just pig slop. And I don't eat it. And it makes my brain crave it more, so I won't touch it. Restaurant food, I ate it last night and I ate a couple bites and I knew that food wasn't healthy that they were serving at the Chinese place. But I didn't want to insult my people that invited me, so I did eat it a little bit, but it really wasn't healthy, in my opinion. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. See you next time.